Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me on today. A mustard seed of faith. A mustard seed of faith. No one ever said it would be easy to grow a mustard seed of faith. But we can make its growth a lot easier. We can decide the path that we want to take. Do we want to take the easy path, or do we want to take the hard path? Do we want to take the evil path, or do we want to take the good path? Do we want to take the devilish path, or do we want to take the godly path? There's a lot of choices there, but the choice should be pretty easy. It should be easy for you to want to go with the flow of God, because as you go with the flow of God, good shall follow thee. Goodness and mercy shall follow you all the rest of the days of your life, and you shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever, in goodness and mercy, all the days of your life. But see, what happened is we get caught up in the spiritual warfare that's out there. We get caught up in the foolishness. All this. I'm telling you something. Look. This is what the freedom fighters were trying to tell us before. It's the same thing I'm telling you now. They were cut down, though. Cut down by the oppression. But, honey, the God's will was coming through. You saw it. They got the epiphany. They knew the breakthrough. But here come the oppression. But I'm going to tell you something, honey. This is God's time. God don't need the publicity. God don't need the publicity. God, let me calm down a little bit. I get excited, huh? I tell you, I get so excited about the work of the Lord and how God is moving, how God is moving within us. But God don't need the publicity. God don't need all that, we rise and we growing anyway. We growing for a better way because, we want the breakthrough in our lives and for tomorrow today. We want a better way. Nobody wants to live around evil. We want to try to let people see the sunlight that is within thee. No matter what your skin color is on the outside, honey, we still the same on the inside. We bleed the same red blood. Grow positive. That's the same red blood. Grow positive. That's the blood type. Grow positive. We all the same down here anyway. I mean, you cannot get a face transplant. You can just take somebody's face. They can transplant anything. You can transplant anything about off somebody else. It don't matter you a donor or you not. That's just all it is to it. Are you or you ain't. We gonna take because they can use anything. They can use it down to your bones, your marrow, anything, your toe. Transplant your toe, a fingernail. Okay. I'm telling you, honey. So look. They all caught up in this foolishness, white supremacy. Hey, honey, ain't no white supremacy. Ain't none of that. White supremacy is a myth. It ain't no such thing as white supremacy. We all came from Africa. Look, turn around. We all came from Africa. So it's time to put away with all the foolishness. It's time to grow for a better way. When I know better, I do better. So now you know better, do better. Grow for a better way. Grow for tomorrow today. Your children look at you, your niece and nephews, there's some kids around you somewhere, look at you, and what are you going to do? You can have a child that don't even know you. They wave at you. What you going to do? You wave back. You wave back at the baby. The baby looking at you. What you going to do? Wave back. Okay, So, the kids look at you. What are we going to do? We got to grow. That's what we going to do. We going to show the children, we going to be a role model too. We going to be a role model. No matter what, sometimes people just take you there, and you human. You just human, and you go there. You snap, crackle, and pop. Pop goes the weasel and the weasel goes pop. It goes like that, honey. So, but you don't want the weasel to pop out like that. You don't want that. So, that's why we got to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. That's why we got to rise. That's why we got to sow. We got to move on. We got to turn around. Turn for a better way. Turn the other cheek. Now just turn around. Turn the whole body. Don't worry about the cheek, honey. Just turn the whole body. See, because we going to turn around and look this way. We going to look to the hills. We going to look to wisdom. We going to look to the Lord. We gonna grow no matter how hard it is. It is hard. Nobody ever said the road was gonna be easy. It ain't easy to grow from a mustard seed. It ain't easy, but have that faith and keep smiling the beautiful smile of faith as you going on each day. Know God is with thee. Know that as you grow, goodness and mercy shall follow thee. God is going to be with thee. God is going to move some things out the way for thee and make some things happen for thee. It's going to be hard for thee, though. In each life, some thunderstorm, rain going to come. In my life, it was just one thunderstorm after another one, after another one. But God was my refuge. God carried me through so that I can grow. All that rain, look at all that rain. I had so much rain, honey, I'm here again. Here I am growing for God. And as I'm growing for God, I'm growing for me too, because I'm here thankful to God, thankful to be here to see the beauty, to really be here and see the beauty, because I didn't see that before. I saw darkness, and that's why I was just ready to go. I was ready to check out, I was ready to go. But look, I'm telling you, God said to grow, and here I am, growing for me, happy to be in the place that I am. So thankful to be and grateful to have you growing with me too as we grow on for the breakthrough. I truly am thankful, happy, and humble. God said the meek and humble shall inherit the meek and humble shall inherit the earth. Well, here we go, inheritance. We getting our inheritance, kings and queens. We getting ready to inherit the earth. We getting ready to bust on the scene. Greatness reached over our oppression through. We'll just keep on growing in God each and every day. Just keep growing for a better way. And as you rise, and as you live, it helps to lift someone else. To lift someone else, you already lifting yourself because you already blessed. Go ahead and bless someone else. Bless over there where you see a need, where you can fill in. Fill in the gap. God answers prayers. Fill in the gap. Stand in the gap for your brother. Stand in the gap for your sister. Stand in the gap when you see a gap that you fill in. Get in where you fit in. Get in there, honey. I'm telling you, make a difference, because God is watching thee. His eye is on the sparrow. He already knows. He already knows your problem before you even take it to him. God is already there with you. Just go ahead, with your blessed self. Go ahead and carry on. Take that mustard seed and grow on. Keep growing in God, honey. Take the rain that came and the side you got from God and grow. And while you're growing, sow the seeds of love that you got left over, because you got a bunch left over. So sow the seeds and love. Just start scattering all over. Just start throwing it. It's rain already over there. So just start throwing some love to them, showing some love. Let them see some light in you. Wow, look at you. What didn't happen to you? Let them see the light in you. How you walk. You walk in royalty. You a king and a queen. Stand up. Rise tall. Don't fall. Don't fall for the slip and fall. No, don't look over there. Ain't nothing over there. Don't look over there. Turn around from there. We ain't gonna look over there in the spiritual warfare. Look at the beauty. See the beauty? Look all around. Look at the beauty of God. The peace, the joy, the happiness that you got from within. And you got that from within is all right. If you alone, if you alone again, there you go again. You done made the wrong mistake. But I'm gonna tell you something, honey. God has shown me to be happy in the state I am. I came in the world alone. I'm going to leave alone. I can't let my happiness, excuse me, because I got to get this out. I can't let my happiness be dependent on somebody else's happiness. My happiness is dependent on me and God in me. So, I can be all I can be to you, but look, I got to be for God too. I'm here for God. I'm here for the breakthrough. So I'm growing for me and God. Here we are growing on this soul train, and we got some more passengers to pick up, because we headed on to genuine equality and righteousness shall flow like a mighty stream. So we got to roll on, kings and queens. We can't give up no matter how hard it is, no matter how tough it look. Because I'm telling you something, it look pretty tough. We coming up on the rough side. I admit that. We growing up on the rough side. But hold on anyway. Buckle up, lock up, link up, lock up. We rising up. We growing up anyway. We ain't gonna grow up in the spiritual warfare. We gonna grow up over there. We gonna grow up over the oppression. We gonna rise up as we link up, lock up, grab some more warriors up. Come on up, get up. It's time to rise up, move up. God is moving. You sit there and say, God is not moving in my life fast enough. God ain't moving fast enough for me. Honey, God is moving. It is happening. We rising. We growing. I'm telling you something. This is all about God. So here we grow. Grab the side. Take the rain that came, honey, and grow. And listen to this right here. Love each other. Love you. And love each other as your sister and brother. Rise up, kings and queens. Attention in the court. It's time to rise up. It's time to grow. It's time to sow. It don't matter what your skin color is. I understand you that. Come on over here. Because I got something to tell you. And this is where it's at. I'm getting ready to lay out some facts. Look, it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to take him to the side, talk to him real quick. Give him a little pep talk. Y'all go ahead on and keep growing on. Because me and him, we getting ready to grow. We getting ready to link up, lock up. I'm getting ready to turn this proud boy into a man of God. Give me the side. I love you. Keep it growing on. We growing on for the breakthrough. We gonna rise up, kings and queens. I'm telling you, it's time out. Look, we see what's going on. We see the oppression growing on. We see the spiritual warfare. CNN, you done put it there. It's out there for all of us to see the foolishness, the evilness that's going on out there. All these tricks, falls, setups. Blink, there you go. You done fell for the setup. Blip, blop, blam, alakazam. It's going to take you a magician to get out of there, fam. And the magician is God. God got it growing on. Here we go. We growing on. I'm telling you something. Look, honey, they got a trick out there for you. Look, you looking at that porn. You don't know what you might be looking at. You better watch out. You don't know. That little doll that you're looking at might be what it ain't at. What you don't want to be at. You could be looking at a child and don't even know, that you in possession of some child pornography and don't even know, you didn't know what you're looking at, but there it is. And there you go. Done fail for the setup. You better turn away from that, and get your own thing going on where you got it growing on at. Turn from that, honey. That's the biggest trick right there. That's a big fall. And there you go. You better leave that porno alone, because at one time, in the United States, possession of pornography, period, was against the law. Just possession, just having it. You could go to jail for it. So look, I'm telling you, you better leave it alone, honey, and get with God. It's time to get with God and be you. Be the best you and God that you can be. Just do the right thing. That's all I do. Just do the right thing and the right thing shall follow you. You know what the right thing is. Ain't nobody got to put you in no box and make you pretend this is what you are. This is it. You got to be it. Okay, you this and you that and you that. You just a square. You a square. But you ain't fit for no square. Get up out of there. Get up out of there, square. You ain't got to fit up in no box. This is spirituality. It's just God and you, on a journey. I'm just going to be the beacon of light to show you the way to go. Go with God. God is right there with you. Go ahead and go with God. Don't be a ship lost out there in uncharted waters, honey. Go ahead and go with God. Go rise with God. Take that side, and sprinkle it all around you. Because, see, we trying to get the breakthrough. Don't just love you. Don't keep all the side to yourself. Just keep it to you. I'm going to hold on to all my side. I ain't going to even give you no love. I ain't showing you no love. You ain't getting no love. No love. Hater, all around, no love. No, we got to love. Because, see, we all know how to love. So now we got to show it. We got to show it. We got to sow it, as we grow it, and we got to keep growing on because, look here. I can get on one, honey. Well, look here. You know, I'm telling you something. What you reap, you shall sow. You know, so we want to sow love, don't we? Yes. You know, there ain't nothing to think about. Yes, we do. We want love around us. You know, we want to get the happy breakthrough. We want to be able to have family reunions again. You know, just think about that. Family reunion. Remember the family reunion? Man, I used to feel like I just wanted to go crash somebody's family reunion because we don't even have family reunions anymore. You know, let alone COVID didn't happen. And before that, you know, we wasn't even getting together unless somebody transitioned. But just think about family reunion. Isn't that beautiful? Just the thought of just getting together with family and friends, you know. And even if somebody come crashing in, you know, they coming crashing in, bringing love, you know, it's more love to go around. That's a beautiful thing to think about. Well, there it is. That's the promised land. That's what we got growing on. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. And we going to keep growing in God, kings and queens. We just going to keep growing in God. You're going to have a sweet sauna of love all around you. Keep growing in God for the breakthrough. I love you. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. I'm sowing seeds of love everywhere. I see you, Greece. I see you, New York. I'm sowing seeds of love everywhere. Georgia, you stay on my mind. I love you, Taiwan. Keep growing in God. Keep growing everywhere. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world.